Okay, hi. I've got my trial version of Home Designer Architectural 2020. And I drew a simple little plan here. I've got an overview camera open over here. And I'm going to try to help you figure out this problem that you have. I'm going to go back to the camera view. And I'm going to use a tool. It's called a tricolor. The tooltip obviously is adjust material definition. So I'm going to left click and select that tool and then click on this brick. And the thing you need to understand about how materials are displayed and calculated by the materials list and so forth is based on these settings in the define material dialog for any particular material. I'm going to make the line color. This is just for visual purposes. I'm going to make, for printing and also for visuals, I'm going to make the lines color black, excuse me. And you can see the height of this pattern is set to 3 inches tall, 8 inches wide. That's 3 and 8 for each brick. And then also, and let me show you about that. See, this is a render camera. If you go over here to render types, I'm going to change it to vector view. And that's where vector view is just lines, pattern lines and colors for a material in terms of visuals. So I turned the pattern line black so it's easier to see, especially if you were to turn the color off like that. It's just easier to see. Okay, now I'm going to change the camera render type back to standard, and we'll turn the color back on. Okay, and I'm going to click on this again with the adjust material definition tool. I just wanted to differentiate to you that materials visually are expressed as a pattern and a color and also a texture. Let's take a look at this texture. See, currently the scale is set for this texture at 32 inches by 32 inches. And that's from here to here and from here to here. The x-axis is from left to right or right to left. The y-axis is from bottom to top or top to bottom. So if you measure, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 bricks. See, this is a partial of this one over here. That's how materials are done. In terms of visually, this repeats across a 3D surface. So we have 4 bricks divided by 32. That makes each brick 8 inches wide. I'm sorry, I'm not a metric guy. You'll have to figure this out in metrics for yourself. Now let's look at the Y scale. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 courses of brick. And let's see, 12 divided into 32 is that should come out to about 3 inches. Okay, now this retain aspect ratio is checked, and to really finely tune materials to fit your specifications, I would uncheck that. And okay, I'm going to count this again. We got 12 courses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 courses into 32 inches. See, that doesn't figure up. 3 times 12 is 36. So the height is not exactly 3 inches. If I wanted the height to be exact, I would change this Y scale figure to 36. And also, see, there's mortar in between these bricks, which has thickness. And this figuring I just did didn't account for any mortar thickness. So you might want to have to adjust this figure to allow for the mortar, and also the left to right figure. But if you want to get this more exact, this is how you do it. You count the number of bricks or complete bricks shown in the texture, and then you jockey these figures here on the X and the Y to get a more accurate depiction. Now we're under pattern. I don't think this is, the program doesn't use this figure for figuring the material in the materials list. It uses this. So this is where I would put my attention on it. And also a word about materials lists. The materials list measures exactly and only how you create the 3D model. So to any degree, if you improperly create the 3D model, not carefully assigning materials and controlling how materials are displayed, then it's going to be to that degree inaccurate in the materials list, because it just mechanically measures what you did. It's a report card on how accurately you 3D modeled the structure you're working on. I've only had a couple of clients over the last 25 years who were willing to pay me the amount necessary to produce a materials list, because it takes about 10 times longer to create a model, in my experience, to obtain an accurate materials list. Back in 1994, when I first started using this software, my then boss asked me to test out and see how accurate the materials list tool was. And what I found out was it's only as accurate as you are. And so your 3D model has to duplicate exactly how you're going to build the structure in the virtual model to produce an accurate materials list. And that requires more time, being careful and double and triple checking your settings and your dimensions and so forth. And you have to check everything from top to bottom, and then you can get a materials list that's accurate. And a couple of times I've done this for clients, it turned out to be accurate and useful. But it did take a lot longer in order for me to achieve that. And not everybody who uses this software has 25 years of experience like I do. So I'm just saying. Now you can see I made that change and when I closed the dialog, the change was implemented here. But this is the key to getting an accurate depiction or tabulation of a particular material, is make sure that this is accurately set. If it's not going to be accurate. And it's a bit of a pain, and you have to do it trial and error and check and so forth. And another way, I wouldn't use this type of camera. I would use an elevation camera, just more accurate. And let's change the render type back to standard. There we go. And you can zoom in, and with the dimension tools, see, I'm just going to measure the brick, and it's right at 8 inches. And it's right at 3 inches. But you can see this is not scientifically perfect. It's an estimation. And I'm sorry to tell you that, there's no absolutely accurate way to do this, any more than there's an accurate way to do this in in the real world. I mean, you can get fairly close by just measuring and giving the dimensions of things, and then calculate how many bricks per square foot, and come up pretty close. I did lots of estimations when I worked for a remodeling company, and that company didn't go broke. So, but that's what I can share with you on this. I hope it helps. I don't know if this does or not, but I offer that as my shot at trying to help. Okay? Have a good day. Thanks for watching.